Hello Aries, welcome to your timeless reading. If this message resonates or you find it helpful, then it's for you. And if not, no worries at all, just leave it for someone else or return to it at a later time. Also be sure to check out the description box for some journal prompts that I'll leave you based on this reading. Okay, let's jump right into your pre-shuffled oracle cards, and then we'll clarify together with tarot. Okay, so the oracle cards that you have got today are number 9, Curiouser and Curiouser. Number 13, All Must Have Prizes. Number 32, Belong to Your Own Dream. Number 41, Forget Who You Are. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have number 39, Uncertainty. Okay. So usually I do not pull this many oracle cards, but I felt very strongly guided to do that. And as I'm looking at all of these oracle cards together, what I'm seeing is a storyline. And I really feel like this is the journey, that these oracle cards are outlining the journey that you have been going on over the last several months, handful of months, okay? And it's culminating in this incredible choice point that you're now at, symbolized by this uncertainty card. So let's break it down, okay? You have been going on a journey of internal metamorphosis. When I first started to anchor into your energy, as I was just pre-shuffling before I recorded, I heard and I saw butterfly followed by metamorphosis. And these first 4 cards are showing me the metamorphosis you've been going through internally. At some point in the not too distant past, you started to get really, really curious about yourself. Why you are the way you are, why you do the things you do, why you're on the trajectory that you're on, why certain people are in your life, why certain relationship patterns keep happening, all of it. You just got curious in a way maybe you never have before. That led you to uncover, through this All Must Have Prizes card, that led you to uncover and awaken to your own shadows. Your shadows, your, let's call them negative patterns, maybe certain dysfunctions, right? Pain. You uncovered your own shadows. You faced your own shadows. Because anybody who gets curious about themselves is fated to do that, right? And so I think maybe the biggest shadow of all that you've uncovered within yourself is this people-pleasing tendency. And I believe we've talked about this before. I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, in your last reading, we talked about how spirit just like is not letting this go. And in almost every single reading, spirit brings it back to like, you need to release this pattern of people pleasing. I'm pretty sure. So then, once you became aware of the shadows within yourself, you realized just how much you have been living your life for other people in different ways. And so that then catalyzed this desire within you to live for yourself I don't want to live for other people anymore. I want to live for me. And so through this card, Belong to Your Own Dream, number 32, you started to sink into the truth of who you are beyond people pleasing, beyond proving yourself, beyond who am I? What do I really want for me when I just live for me? So you started to sink into that. And as you started to sink into the truth of who you are in that way, I think a lot of you got in touch with some anger. Maybe not all of you, but a lot of you did. But at the very least, through this forget who you are card, you have gotten in touch with your own fire, your own passion, your own truth, your own intrinsic motivations, your authentic self-expression. And again, for many of you, that included some anger. Anger is beautiful. Anger burns away all that is false. Okay? And so this whole internal metamorphosis is what you've been walking through. It's the story that you've been walking through, the experience that you've been having for, I think, months, many, many months. It's going to be different for every one of you, but. And now it's culminated in this insanely powerful choice point, symbolized by uncertainty. The sentence underneath of the keyword uncertainty is choose who you will become. It is time for you to complete the metamorphosis. It is time for you to emerge out of the cocoon of inner work into the real world and actually make new decisions. Put all of this inner work that you've done to use. I think on some level you know that there is, for the time being, there is no inner work left to do. When we embark on this journey of self-awareness, we find that there's this kind of beautiful dance between inner work, internal exploration, and then taking new action based on the inner work. Inner work, new action. Inner work, new action, right? We're constantly weaving back and forth on the macro and on the micro. You have gone through a macro phase of inner work, and now life is saying, spirit is saying, it's time for you to take new action based on that. This is the moment of no return for you. This is it. This is what everything has been for. This is what all of the inner work has been for. So that you can be different in the world. Physically, truly, not just feel different inside. Okay. I know that was a lot, but that's just what wanted to come through. I've never pulled so many oracle cards for a sign before, but that is very clearly just what wanted to happen. So, okay, let's jump into tarot. Show me the collective of Aries right now, please. Just show me the general energy of the collective of Aries right now, please. Show me the collective of Aries right now, please. Too many. Just one. Page of Cups. Judgment. The Sun. Oh my goodness. And I feel like one more. Oh, the Lovers. Oh, Aries. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. You know, in your heart, in your soul, in your gut, your intuition is talking to you. You know, this is the moment where either you're going to choose a whole new reality for yourself. You're going to choose to be different, not just feel different. And by doing so, you're going to make gigantic, irreversible changes in your life. You're going to answer your higher calling, step into more joy, step into greater self-love and union with your own heart. All of this incredible energy is calling to you. It's like, yes, you're right there. You're on the precipice. You are on the precipice of not just getting in touch with your own dream and your own desires, your own truth, but actually realizing it, starting to physically manifest it. It's this welling I feel within your energy, this welling sort of, I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like this building wave of inner knowing, intuitive knowing within you that it's time. But you have free will. And the Lover's card, one of the many things that the Lover's card is about the power of choice. What will you choose? I'm seeing it almost like scales, right, that are kind of teetering. And you could choose to slip back into old patterns. You could choose to go back to your very familiar, people-pleasing ways. Just because something is painful doesn't mean automatically that we're going to stop choosing it. Because when we become familiar with pain, that pain almost becomes like a comfort blanket in a way. So you could totally, like, this is the moment where you could slip back. You could slip right back into what you've always done, what you've always known, the familiar pain. Or you could choose the discomfort of literally stepping into your higher calling, your higher purpose. The discomfort of expanding your container to hold more joy, to hold more self-love and more truth. Yeah, this is the tipping point. Okay, so what's the primary challenge? What is the primary challenge that Aries is facing right now? What is the primary challenge? I'm hearing Spirit is clarifying. What is the main challenge that Aries is perceiving at this time? So, it's not actually a problem, but you might see it that way. Okay. What's the primary challenge that Aries is perceiving at this time? I mean, I'm hearing themselves. Like, your main challenge is yourself. But let's see. Ooh. Six of Pentacles. Two of Swords. Oh, the Hanged Man. Oh my goodness. Okay. The Two of Swords. This is the epitome, the perfect example of that crossroads moment, right? Where you are trying to decide between two things, but both things feel hard. It's almost like you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. You have to choose between one of two things, but neither are comfy, neither are pleasant, according to your perception, right? So instead of choosing one or the other, you're just stuck. You're like frozen in the middle and kind of just like she has that blindfold on, right? Kind of avoiding the choice you know you have to make at some point. What are you trying to choose between? According to you, according to your subjective perspective, what you're trying to choose between is I'm hearing the old balancing act. The old balancing act where you are constantly, I'm hearing the word perturbed, constantly struggling and fixated on trying to create this balance in the give and take of your relationships. And I'm hearing you saying, like, did I give too much? Did I not give enough? Do they feel okay with what I did? It's that old pattern. It's that old people-pleasing pattern. And when I look at this card in this context, I feel really tense, very, very tense and very anxious and very heavy. There's so much anxiety. There's just so much tension. I almost feel a little bit nauseous, right? And look, there's the scales again. We've got the scales. It's almost like this artificially created balance. It's not true balance. It is artificial balance created out of fear, right? So that's the old pattern. That's one path you could take. But then the other path is the Hanged Man. This is you literally flipping your entire world on its head, seeing everything differently, including yourself, and surrendering. Completely surrendering to the unknown. Surrendering to the fact that you don't really know where your truth will take you. You can't know that. But what you can know is that following your truth, living for yourself, being true to your own dream, right? That will lead you to new heights, more joy, and more love, internally and externally. You can't know exactly what that'll look like or how it might manifest, but your internal experience will be elevated beyond anything you've ever known. So you don't want to go back to the old people-pleasing pattern. You don't want to go back to this artificial balance produced by incessant tension within yourself. And you're also absolutely terrified of surrendering and flipping your world on its head. It feels like jumping off a cliff. into the void, right? So yeah, when I asked what is the primary challenge that Aries is perceiving, and I heard themselves, that's what this is. The primary challenge is your own perception, right? Now, the thing about the Two of Swords is that the reality is there's a third option you're not seeing. There's a third option you're not seeing. Maybe you don't need to abandon the part of you who cares about other people in order to live for yourself. And maybe you don't need to throw yourself into the abyss with absolutely no support systems in order to embrace a new life. Maybe things aren't so black and white. Maybe things aren't so harsh. Maybe you can embrace your own path in a supportive, loving way. Okay, let's wrap it up with some advice. What does Aries need to know or do at this time? What is the advice, final advice for Aries, please? What's that? What is that? Huh. I didn't even notice. There's just this random card face down over there. Did I just, maybe it just, okay, we're just gonna take it as the advice. 10 of Wands. That's it. There you go. Oh, wow, this is kind of deep. This is pointing to a shadow within you relative to your relationships. There's some part of you who believes that the only way to be, I'm hearing accepted, the only way to be accepted by others is to take on the burden of living for them. To experience acceptance, you must feel burden in some way, for some reason. I think that's the most sort of broad way that I could put it. So in order to support yourself in choosing the path of the hanged man, rather than falling back into old patterns, in order to, the most loving thing and supportive thing you can do for yourself, to help yourself choose yourself, is to recognize this pain, the story that lives within you that says acceptance is burden. In order to be loved and accepted, I must feel some sense of burden. This is the tip of the iceberg with this shadow. It's something that I would invite you to explore with the knowing that you cannot alchemize it overnight. This is something that you're going to have to start to unravel, like one thread at a time, over a hot minute. Okay. So what would it be like to be in relationship with people? Let's put it this way. What would be so bad about being in relationship with other people and not living for them and not feeling the burden of People pleasing. Like, there's fear here, right? What would be so bad about that? Maybe there's abandonment issues, right? Or fear of rejection, fear of shame. I don't know what. It's going to be different for each and every one of you, but this is an invitation for you to start unraveling that. So all right, Aries, you're at a crossroads. You're at a huge crossroads. This is the tipping point. This is the tipping point. Be sure to check out the description box for those journal prompts. I will create those prompts based on this reading, and hopefully they will help you to further your self-awareness and unravel these messages more specifically for yourself. Okay. All right, leave any questions or comments down below. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye.